Black Lives Matter.
Life.
Black Lives Matter.
Baltimore. Baltimore.
Me.
The first time I knew I was African American was when I was little. About 5 years old, I realized that there were all different races. Everyone didn't look the same. So I just thought of two races and I knew I wasn't white, so I was black.
I really can't say when I realized that I was black. I could more speak to when I realized that how other race see my race. When I was younger, I used to do private duty and I go to the Jews' home, and literally every last one of them said, "Oh, you're a pretty black girl." So that made me feel like that I was privileged to look this way, because normally black was ugly.
The first time I remember I was black, I was at my grandmother's church and we was in Sunday school.
She wanted me to go with her, so I did.
We was talking about Jesus and I asked the Sunday school teacher, "Was Jesus black?" And a white girl told me, "Why would Jesus be black? That's ugly." And that's when I knew I thought being black was not a good thing.
I'm from East Baltimore. My first memory of being black was growing up very poor and living in the projects where it was only black people. And if you were white, you were either a police officer or you were a drug addict.
The first time I thought I was black was when I was walking with my sister.
The first time I knew I was black was when I was with my brother and he said, "Hi, nigga."
She was saying, "What's up, nigga?"
I said, what does it mean? He said it means brotherhood.
I asked my sister what it means and she said it means you're black. And white people don't say it.
I came to the U.S. in 2001. I came as a refugee, and it was my first time ever having to identify as black. I now had to take on this idea of blackness and the consequences of blackness. It was all new to me because this was not something that I really experienced or understood much of while living in Liberia. And so coming here and now being labeled black, and not only being labeled but having to take on the consequences of that, was very new for me, and it's something I definitely had to adjust to.
The first time I realized my race and that it affects what happens to people was in 5th grade when Freddie Gray died. Before this, I knew that African Americans were not treated equally, but this made me realize how much they were treated differently.
When I was 5 years old, I brought my friend home to my house. She was black, and when we walked in the door, my stepdad was waiting there with his dog. The dog was usually nice, but when we walked in the door, the dog bit my friend on the leg as soon as we walked in. My stepdad said to me that our dog, Crystal, didn't like black people. So from that point on, my friend was no longer allowed to come to our house, and it really drove home that we had different skin color.
The first time I knew I was black is when I was in a county with my aunt and I was outside playing. My mom's friend said he can't play with me because I was black. And it hurt me that she said that and that I can't play with my friend.